Hey.
We're gonna get to a master in his craft in a second.
I can't wait to see Johnny Harris spin the block.
30,
it's gonna be sick.
30 minutes in and out. He's gonna learn how to shoot a gun, and he's gonna defend Japan.
He looks so fucking hard. Dude.
Yeah, he looks hot.
Dude, he's with all the guys from the Daidoji faction that made a deal with Kiryu.
Yeah.
They're like, you're an even better agent than Jordio.
Let's get to a goat. Okay, a master in the craft.
Johnny Harris.
I'm not meant for war.
I think he looks a little bit like that.
Why didn't we watch this for influencer promotion, army promotion videos?
Yeah, that would have been so much better.
Who's coming at me? Who's coming at me?
This is me training with the Japanese army.
How did I get here?
I'm here to get a closer look at Japan's military as they
that's me.
prepare for potential invasion.
Prepare for a
I'm in
potential
Okinawa,
invasion.
Along this important
You want to bet
Japan worries
on
that
if he mentions that most Okinawans want the fucking Marines out of there?
Oh, he might do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will he bring up Godzilla?
He's not gonna.
That's what I'm really wondering. That's
He's
my
not.
big question.
He won't mention like the rapes or anything. Like he won't be like there was an American guy who just killed an entire Japanese family, and then America was like, you have to release him.
Dude, it's so bad. Like I did a like kind of a deep dive on like Marines who have done horrible shit in Okinawa, and like I feel like most people know about like the drunk driving stuff, but no, there are just like straight up family annihilators.
Yeah.
Like so many cases of a Marine just fucking freaking out and killing a family or like
Really?
killing a little girl or something. It's so fucking bad. Yeah.
these islands are vulnerable and unprotected. So they're rapidly expanding their military here.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good.
They're vulnerable.
It's good. It's good that Japan and Germany are rapidly expanding their defense industry. I'm
If
sorry.
Johnny Harris gets into a Mitsubishi F2, I may have to like and subscribe because that's a cool plan.
I already have liked and subscribed for you, so
Thank you.
He subscribes to Boy
Visit
Boy.
these military bases.
he does not subscribe to me. He has brought me up in his videos before, though. He has like put me in his videos.
Train with their soldiers, and to learn if all these bases, weapons, and troops could provoke the very conflict they're trying to prevent.
Japan is arming itself like it never has before.
Japan's facing its
Never before. I don't think that's quite the right term.
It's arming itself exactly like it did before, actually.
greatest security threat in decades.
I'm at one of Japan's most important military bases. Here-
Why is the average age of the Japanese military like similar to the Ukrainian defense forces right now? What's going on there? Yeah, why are they so old?
So you're saying there's a chance for me.
Well, I guess the Japanese are just old. That's probably why.
Yeah, I mean,
population,
I think it's the
maybe.
same thing with like, yeah, why all sectors trend very old.
Yeah.
I would love
Here in
to. I
Ok-
think me and Johnny should we should become the Japanese SEAL Team 6.
Yeah.
So we technically be like the youngest men there, in our early 30s.
Okinawa.
It would be so sick if they made him serve for like 5 years.
I'm sorry,
Like, they
but
didn't let
if
him
they
leave.
let you just join a foreign nation like this and like give you the garb and stuff is a joke military.
Oh, 100%.
Like what the
Yeah.
fuck?
This is like scouts or
Oh, he took the beanie off.
No.
I spent the last year preparing for
All
this
your power
story,
cups are there,
and
Johnny.
as I get dressed, my nerves
Oh,
are
thank
starting
God
to
he's
get the
keeping
best of me.
on.
Yeah.
Anything bigger? I have a very large head, like abnormally large.
That's why he's my perfect counter. I hate him. I hate his power.
So anything you can.
Dude, this is like the National Guard, right? Like it
It's
has to be.
insane.
That's
They would
crazy.
let me fly a plane. I'm so much younger than them. They'll let me be a pilot.
My best to follow along, but struggling.
Johnny, have you ever done anything? What the fuck?
Bro, these people are like 48 years old. If you can't do like basic stretches, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Jesus Christ.
If you put him in like a Tabata class, he would short circuit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, Johnny.
He's hot. He's hot.
I'm learning.
Like we've never had a guy do 10 of these in a row. That's wow, impressive.
I'm used to yelling when I work out, but I think I should probably adopt that.
Soon,
So if I was in a war with someone and they did this, I'd be like, can you guys fucking take this seriously?
Yeah, that's why like all the ISIS comps of like them flying through burning tires, like that's actually impressive.
Yeah,
That's like legitimately scary. This, on the other hand, is like funny.
It reminds me of when Al Qaeda would release videos where guys are just on monkey bars, and it's like, you guys are just dicking around. Like, can you fucking get it together?
But what do you do if there's a gap? And there's monkey bars above. You have to cross it.
Press L2 to use the prosthetic.
You know.
Chinese people find this terrifying.
Water break? I mean, I think
If only the Indian border guards knew this secret technique, then they wouldn't be fighting with rocks and stones and sticks on their border dispute.
I want someone to explain to me what the screaming is all about.
Oh no.
I need to start
Marines
working out like
scream
these
a lot,
guys.
I guess.
The yelling, the intervals, the intensity of it makes it way more fun.
Aw.
It's okay.
I have to thank today's sponsor, so I might as
The
well do it.
Japanese military. Nippon desu. Wait.
Before World
Oh, excuse me. Don't put patriotic music over that. Dude, this is the craziest part about it is like this is akin to doing it for
The
like
Nazis.
the Nazis.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Like you would never do a compilation like this if you went and trained with the German military. You wouldn't be like, here are the Nazis goose stepping. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like people have like no concept of like they know that the Japanese military and the Japanese empire did horrible things. I don't think they know quite the extent of it. Like there were no survivors of Unit 731. They killed everyone they came in contact with just to like erase any proof. They actually arguably the 731 guys got away with more because
They got good jobs.
they got really good jobs in America making biological weapons.
Yeah, well, that was
way less of them like got hanged or sent to prison.
no, none of them. No, they literally.
I think a few of them.
I
Like,
thought
a couple-
Russia. I thought Russia was like the USSR was advocating to take them over, and America was like, no, we'll just if you give us the details of the experiments you conducted, specifically in germ warfare, biological, chemical warfare, then you're fine.
No, I mean I think like most of the 731 guys like ended up in a version of Paperclip, but I mean like some Japanese war criminals like did see some consequences, but really like like off the top of my head, it seems to be like to a smaller scale than the Germans.
Yeah.
Is that a cookie? Oh, those are
Oh, does that
sick.
come in too?
Yeah.
You ate the other one? Damn it.
Bro, he's a black hole, dude. Are you kidding me?
My
Can I have a little nibble?
my
Just like-
parents though were born right next to Unit 731 in Harbin, China.
They were
Really?
an experiment. Trying to make the most annoying
They were
guy.
like, my grandfather was like, sometimes people would go missing and people just like, just don't worry about it. Like,
They were like collaborators.
have something. I don't know. Let's not get into that. No, my grandfather had land near it, and like he knew, I don't know, something.
He knew something.
World War II, Japan had a massive military that was powerful
I'm so
enough to
glad my
conquer
family
a
was, like,
large
too
chunk
lame
of
to be in the
Asia.
military. The last, I had a grandfather who was like a regular World War II guy, but he was like the only like normal brave guy. Everyone else, their positions were like the piano player in the Russian Imperial Army. Just fucking like the lamest positions. Everyone in my family, except for like one grandparent, was just in a support role in their respective militaries.
People need morale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one said the coolest shit, but makes it even more depressing because they were like partisans and they were killing Nazis and like making a cool country. And then in the 90s, Nazis come back and they become refugees. And it's just like,
He's
sorry, it's so
Serbian.
depressing.
Yeah.
He's Serbian. Well, what was it? Serbia to Tokyo?
Don't say that.
It's the funniest. I think it's the funniest nationalist slogan I've ever heard in my entire
Have
life.
you heard it before?
I've never heard
It's
Serbia
so
to
bad.
Tokyo.
They like the kind of like Serb nationalists with spray painted.
Now I'm
around
gonna show
Bosnia.
it. Now I'm gonna show it because you wanted me to.
Oh, that was actually a good video.
Yeah.
This is.
He says Serbia is the greatest country in the world.
You know what?
soldiers singing like Civil War turbo folk.
like Serbian artillery guided by God.
That's it.
So Serbia to Tokyo apparently is like a nationalist slogan. It's
I really like that. Like it is like no one else besides the Turks are dreaming big like that.
Dude,
every Balkan country
it's
thinks
every
they're the
Balkan
most
dude. It's
important.
every Balkan country.
But it's like
The Albanian quote.
Yeah, Enver Hoxha was just like, between us and China, we make up a quarter of the world.
That is officially my favorite quote of all time. Also, you said no one except for the Turks, and then you referenced the Balkans, and they're all Turkish. So
No, you guys are Serbs in denial.
No, okay.
You guys are Southern Serbs.
This argument happens like every 5 minutes. These guys, like,
no, he's Serbian. Albanians are Turks. He agrees with that as a pejorative. and then I tell him Serbians are the gay Turks because they're Christian.
I think it's like a Radagon is America type thing. Turks are Serbs and vice versa. Like they're like when Turks decoupled from themselves and created another version of themselves,
the hotter
it was
version.
Serbians.
Yeah, the hotter ones. Is that what you said? Oh, that's so good.
Maybe like the most out of my league woman I ever dated was a Serbian. They are very beautiful.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
They're also the Balkans are very tall. Like that's what I've learned in my travels to Croatia. They're just too tall and they play handball for no reason. They should be all balling, and just like the Serbs.
But for some reason, you see the most uneven couples there as well. Like
In
you know,
Serbia?
that's
That's just Eastern Europe.
Yeah, that's Eastern Europe.
That's like Russia.
Yeah, if you want to see the ugliest dudes you've ever seen in your entire life with the most beautiful woman you've ever laid eyes on, Russia is the place.
Every even moderately popular MMA fighter from really anywhere in Eastern Europe, he will be the baldest man you've ever seen. Like he's somehow like 130% bald, and he's with like just a woman with the highest cheekbones in existence.
Yeah.
Like just beautiful.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's not like they treat their wives well either. Like from what I've seen.
They cheat on them all the fucking time.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, this is all experiences of me growing up in Turkey, like seeing it in like, because, you know, for Russians, it's a massive travel destination. And it was always like that. It's just crazy. Just like an abusive guy who's kind of short, very drunk.
That was the thing. It's like such a weird combination of like super hot girl and a guy who looks like an ogre, but like a really small ogre. It's just like this
And the guy is like, she knows that no matter what I do, she can't find another guy like me.
No, literally.
And all his friends are just look identical.
Oh, Stuck Info Ned 1979 says 7,000 Germans tried at Nuremberg and just 28 Japanese tried in Tokyo.
I didn't know it was that
No,
bad.
it was like they after they apprehended them, they literally cut them a deal. They were like, if you give us the chemical weapons
I
data,
knew that about 731, but like 20.
and that was probably
thought it
just
was-
the cleaners.
No,
or
it was
something.
it was a pretty good deal. I feel like the American scientists need to know like what 100 mosquitoes inside a pregnant Chinese woman does.
It's so funny. It's like it's not like some of the stuff. Like they did develop things that became like viable chemical weapons, but most of their experiments were literally like, what if we gave a pregnant woman? What if we only let her drink seawater? Oh, I don't know. It might kill her.
yeah. Or I mean, I guess they did a frostbite research as well, which you know in very
Yeah, but it's
gruesome
easy.
way.
Just don't go in the cold. You already know that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just the Americans, by the way. Many of the military officials were granted immunity by Chiang Kai-shek. Yeah, maybe that's why there's a memorial in both Japan and also in Taiwan, vice versa. Yeah, just collaboration, you know?
That's so nice.
They were able to send planes across the ocean to attack the United States and Hawaii. The U.S. fought
Hawaii's
back
not
and
part of
ended
the
up
US,
defeating
that's sick.
Japan,
Great
requiring
angle.
them to write a new constitution that would dramatically limit their ability to have a military. The U.S. then sent tens of thousands of troops to occupy Japan, using it as a way to project power and wage conflict in Asia. Japan and the U.S. went from enemies to close allies, and for the last 70 years, Japan has relied on the U.S. presence for their security. This has been the status quo. But now, things are changing. In recent years, China has risen as a global power and has started behaving more aggressively in the region.
Yeah, really, really fucked up of them to not let America encroach.
Yeah.
It's so weird that they just so weird that they did that.
So Japan,
why do sovereign nations want to have autonomy? I don't understand.
Japan in a vacuum expanded their military a lot a while ago. Nothing happened before or since. And now China is they're just being fucking assholes for no reason.
Yeah. They're aggressively encroaching on further expanding American military bases.
Tell me, why would China ever feel like they have to defend their own sovereignty?
Yeah.
What has happened to them in the last 300 years?
Against the Japanese specifically.
Yeah. Or Western powers. What has anyone ever done to them?
Yeah. No, there was I had a massive stunlock earlier this morning when someone was like, we were watching this is how the debate was reflected in Chinese social media, and it's just them like singing
I love that video.
Anyway, so then immediately people start talking about the Filipino boats, and they're like, how dare you not like talk about the Filipino boats? I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? America's doing a genocide in Gaza right now, and you're like bringing up Filipino boats and be like, this is the gravest crime that has ever been committed by a foreign nation. Russia blew up a children's hospital 3 days ago, dude.
It's like so many China things that like people will talk to and yell at you for not talking about enough. They're just like slightly scaled down versions of like much worse and more constant things America does.
Yeah.
Chain of new military bases along these southern islands, this time with the support of the U.S.
Yeah, that seems like a good thing. I think. Why would China be afraid of that?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Japan getting a stealth aircraft.
Yeah. Every
a
American
big deal.
politician universally being like, we have to kill the Chinese immediately.
Yeah. The thing that like any Democrat does when they're within 4 points of their opponent in a Senate race.
Yeah.
We should nuke Beijing.
Yeah.
Why would they feel anything about that?
Yeah, I don't understand. They're just they should just let us nuke them. What the fuck?
If they have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Like if they don't deserve it, we'll nuke them. It'll turn out they weren't doing anything and we'll feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, like maybe we'll let them militarize after we build bases, after we nuke them, like we did with Japan. Yeah, after we rewrite their constitution to reflect freedom and democracy.
Back on the base, the water break is over, and it's time for me to learn how to fight.
Okay, so far it's been only 6 minutes, but like maybe he'll go back to the history of it or something, or he says bones of the past. Maybe we'll see. Because I was gonna say he has not brought up Japanese war crimes or World War II.
Yeah.
Like, and he only showed the Japanese imperial forces in a positive montage.
Yeah.
What is going on right now?
Like the way that he describes World War II is so it's beyond passive voice. He's like, America was somewhat against them scaling up their military, but now we're for that.
Yeah.
One of the basic training that you do for all of their soldiers is martial arts. It is a mix of karate and judo and a bunch of other Japanese martial arts that they've been doing for a very long time, mixed with some of the stuff they learned from the U.S.
At least it's not Krav Maga, okay?
There's some karate. There have been like some guys who have a karate base who like went really far in K1. And George St. Pierre he started out with karate. Some of it is like kind of, if you pair it with like more practical stuff like Muay Thai, there is some like practical application to some of the stuff.
I don't believe it. I've seen videos of old karate guys getting just punched straight in the face by an MMA guy.
Like if you
just karate.
Like if you just do karate, yeah, but
Lyoto Machida?
Lyoto Machida is a great example. But you know, mixed with other stuff.
No, Steven Seagal is not a karate specialist.
He's an Aikido guy.
He's an Aikido guy.
He surpassed karate.
Which is completely made up.
No, Aikido's so real that it's not allowed in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like every fight would be over in 20
Is
seconds.
that the one with like the pressure points where you guys they just explode?
No, it's just made up. It's just completely made up.
Aikido is like it's a combination of like tradition, like Japanese jujitsu and magic. But there is.
That sounds pretty scary.
Have you ever heard of a Sistema?
Yes.
Yeah, the Russian
It's
one.
so funny.
Yeah.
It's so like with Aikido, they at least try to make it look like, okay, I could see how that may work, kind of. Well, with Sistema, it's just a guy will just point at you and you'll fall down. It's so fun. I remember like in like 2013, like right before MMA just ruined all of that stuff. I was like briefly like trying to find where I could learn Sistema in
same.
Chicago.
It's so
I was
bad.
like, wait, you don't even have to touch people? It's so cool.
With your mind powers.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Marines. The commander just came up and told me that it's a deep part of how they've always trained their soldiers. And he said he is sharing some of the soul of Japan with me, which felt very touching and cool. Sir, have a good day.
I hate the way
Okay,
we
back to it.
It's so annoying.
Given my extreme
so
lack of
they told
martial
me
arts
that,
experience,
my
I've
soul
been
is
paired
part
up
of
with a
Japan's.
buddy to help me out.
Which I guess is cool.
Okay, to be fair, to saying that to a white guy, come on, dude. If he said that to me, I'd be like, I'm signing up.
Yeah.
One of my best memories.
I will defend Japan from the Chinese invasion.
One of my I have a great memory from when I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu like 12 years ago. It was like during summer, and it was like I had like just started out, and it was a really like introductory level class. And there was this Japanese guy in there. This is after I'd been doing it for like a month or two. This Japanese guy came in there, and he reeked like booze. I was partnered up with him. We rolled for like 2 minutes, and he went over to a trash can to throw up in it, and then came back to me and like hugged me and was like, "You are my blood brother." And I was like, "Thank you." I just didn't know what to say.
I love you now.
Yeah.
Even though we don't understand a word of each other's language, I don't know what I would do without him.
They probably know English.
But also, you're punching me. It's like, what else are you gonna do with it? Besides
I don't know what I don't know what I would do without him. Like you're just doing military training. Like what?
It's so patronizing. It's like a reverse blindside.
Yeah.
He's like, who rescued who here?
He continued to watch my every move, making me refine every punch, every kick. And I was getting...
Oh, he's gay as hell, bro. They fucked after this. This is like, what the hell? Dude, what is going
better.
Anyone would do that. You don't have to be Japanese. But
Yeah, when he says, guess what? They do martial arts like every military in the fucking world.
He's so happy to be kicked by Johnny Harris.
Yeah, I'm definitely not ready for combat. But could be. A little training. There's potential here, I think.
Already the exhaustion is starting to set in, which is worrying because I have to keep preparing for a real test fight at the end of all of this.
I think the guns are coming out next.
Out here in the Pacific, if war is going to be fought, it's going to be fought on islands. Islands, islands, islands.
日本は非常に多くの島々から成り立っています。その島々は我々が守り抜かなければならない領土です。
And there's one island in particular that is just 100 or so kilometers from Japan's territory, and that China has vowed to make a part of their country, even
It's
if by
nowhere
force.
near China. It's close to Japan.
Yeah.
because look at that little island down there.
Yeah.
Look, they had to bring China all the way over there. They had to, China had to put itself in octagon form and travel 8 billion miles. To
Yeah, it's
Taiwan.
really fucked up. Taiwan is basically Hawaii. Like, what are we talking about? It's Guam, Hawaii, Taiwan, you know? I almost called it Chaiwan by accident.
This is currently thought of as the most likely place for conflict to break out between the United States and China. That would happen. These islands
How'd they
would
get
surely
there?
be...
Also, that doesn't count as your country. You just got little dots that comes all the way out.
That's okay. Well,
That's where I
I'm
draw the line.
Turkish. I'm Turkish. Hold up, little dots near the mainland. That's Turkish soil. Okay, that's Turkish territory. You hear that, Greece? you better watch out.
Pulled into the conflict, especially because China already claims a group of these disputed islands. And in recent years, Chinese military officials and scholars have implied that China actually has an historical claim to much of this island chain, a similar historical claim narrative that pushed Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine.
Yeah,
They are
dude.
the same.
Yeah, it's
Tiny island off Russia.
No mention of Israel though. No, he said Israel was complicated. He couldn't call it a genocide. Okay, that's different.
Well, I like a nuanced person.
Yeah.
You know?
So Japan is focusing on beefing up its ability to quickly move its troops from the ocean onto the beach. This is called amphibious warfare.
この万が一当初に侵攻を許した場合に迅速に当初に上陸し確保するそれが水陸機動団の任務です。
I'm back talking with Commander Kitajima, the head of the...
There's something so deeply strange about, like, you know, not being fearful of the country that nuked you and being fearful of the country that you did war crimes to that has never done anything back to you at all.
like again, literally no survivors of 731. You killed all of them so there wouldn't be as much evidence. Like, just an insane scale of evil.
Yeah, no, that's...
The country that nuked you and then took your emperor and made him take a picture next to Douglas MacArthur to show how short he was.
Japan and the Philippines signed a defense pact in face of shared alarm over China. I know, it's terrifying. I know. They're spraying the boats with water cannons. Which is so much worse than nuking two major cities. You understand? Or firebombing the most populated city as well. So, you know.
I read a great like I get like Google News alerts for like, you know, jets intercepting each other. I like planes, but I there was this great one from these like these Air Force or Navy aviators and like JSDF Air Force guys bitching about Chinese pilots who are they said they're flying really close to our planes and then doing barrel rolls.
Sick.
Which is like, how are you complaining about that? That's so cool.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Check this out. No hands.
Well, they're like, it's a warlike gesture, and it's like, no, it's not. He's doing a trick. That's cool.
He did a kickflip at me.
Yeah, they're flexing on us. Once again, why is your military and your airspace so close to what I want geopolitically?
Yeah.
Like, excuse me.
I didn't know what the commander meant by LCAC.
This is the one word that stuck out to me.
Can I ask about the hovercraft? Can you just describe that? What is that?
LCAC は landing craft air.
So they're telling me that a hovercraft is vital for amphibious warfare, getting tanks, troops, and supplies onto islands quickly. I couldn't really imagine it, but a few minutes later, I didn't have to.
Why couldn't you?
Right behind me is called an L.
Oh, he's got the hat back.
This giant
He's got the beanie
hoverboard. It's
back.
actually hovering above the
Also,
water.
I just don't believe this
And
is
it
useful
allows
in
the
any way. I
Japanese
think
army
they
to
designed
go-
it looked cool, and they were like, "We're sticking with it."
It does look cool.
That's so much like military. So many military vehicles are just it looks awesome. Like those trucks that shoot rockets. I don't know how good all the. Some of them probably work. Others, it just looks awesome to do.
And like this can land on a beach, so can a jet ski.
Because they did D-Day before with like the same shit 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, they
There's
weren't.
less air.
They weren't hovering.
That's true.
Those boats were not hovering, dog.
From the ocean onto any beach. God, that's loud.
Slow.
You don't see
you
that
heard
it's
about,
full of...
Fan death in Korea?
Yeah.
This is the weapon. They're bringing fucking giant fans.
Oh,
to
it's
scare-
so evil. Oh my god! Wow.
What is that?
They're saying it's for China, but really we know what they're doing with
People
it.
in Korea have this idea that if a fan is left on you while you sleep, that you die.
Oh, dude. I mean, I guess like Turkish people
Yeah, it's
also
like
fear
drafts
that.
in the
Yeah,
Balkans.
Yeah, so
draft.
I think you will die. So the
So, like-
fans have automatic timers.
Yeah,
that
like
turn them
the
off.
industry had to change their like standards for Korea.
That's
to have
so-
like an auto turn off fan.
And the hovercrafts do that as well. They turn off after a certain point in the
So the
bases.
soldiers don't
Tanks?
It's so
It's full of
weird
a bunch
when,
of
like,
soldiers.
countries who have like they're living in Ghost in the Shell in Korea. But they have like that. That's like something like not even my grandmother would believe that. Like my grandmother's grandmother would believe that when they invented fans.
You saw how quickly it just like.
Okay, bro, we get it. Like, what the fuck? It's just this is equivalent to like an APC. Like you're just pointing to this thing that
Ramped
you think
on-
is like peak technology.
Into this
Hovercrafts
sand.
Also,
I mean, do you see that tank? That's a
technology.
giant, like, huge tank that was just on that hovercraft.
Why
The
these
US
islands are
Marines
Japanese
train with
if
these
they need to
Japanese
sail to
soldiers.
them to defend them.
Yeah.
They're like, this is Japanese territory. We need to get there real quick.
Sharing their wisdom on amphibious warfare to prepare the Japanese army to defend their islands.
それまでは情
So much of this rhetoric is just like, come on, China, do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, dude, they're gonna do something, okay, and that's when we're gonna do it back.
But I love like it's not racist, but it's a funny like Orientalist undertones. You never talk about the U.S. Army like this, like and the like fucking stealth bomber is like ancient American knowledge
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah,
sharing with
yeah.
us.
Yeah, like the entire training montage where it's like they do a system where they use these things called numbers to count how many of their exercises they did. Like just all these normal
Taught me
training.
how to do it.
この舞台
They've been a large gap in our defenses, bro. What are you talking about? It's just literally tiny ass unoccupied fucking islands. Like what do you mean? It's like it just doesn't make any sense the way the way that he's talking about like a large gap in our defenses. It's like America saying we need Guam. It's a large gap in our defenses if we don't have Guam. Okay.
配備は我々の、南西諸島を守り抜くという決
I
意が
have
現
to,
れ
as
る
a Turk, I have to recognize that what they're doing here, though.
It's legitimate.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to automatically recognize is what they're doing is legitimate. Sometimes the water levels decrease, and then there's a new new piece of soil that pops up, and you're like, "Whoa, that's ours. That's ours." dude." Oops. Yes, we
They're
expanded.
draining the sea next to Turkey.
Land bridge to Cyprus.
Once you see it from the air, you realize just how expansive and green this is. This
That is
forest
generally
was
how
actually
hikes
recently
work.
deemed
Yeah,
a
you
UNESCO
see more
World
of
Heritage
things
Site
when you're
because it's
higher
brimming
up,
with
for
all of this
sure.
unique plant and animal life.
If this wasn't Japanese
And yet,
territory,
right
this
here,
whole thing
cut
would be
into this
fucked.
forest,
It'd be a completely different island.
Can you
the
imagine that?
The Chinese want to turn it
Chinese
into an
way?
Applebee's, but
Yeah.
Chinese style Applebee's.
Did you see that one cat that lives on the island? Imagine him living under brutal CCP.
Yeah.
law.
Yeah.
Also, that cat would be decimating like whatever like creatures live there. They're such murderers.
The hilarious part is that Taiwan claims the same islands as China. How will the Lai government handle Taiwan's maritime disputes? Like Beijing, Taipei officially maintains claims over islands in the East and South China Seas disputed with Japan, the Philippines, and Vietnam.
Is that island just a single runway?
Yeah, I think whoever owns the airport gets that island.
Yeah.
Surely that's the rule there.
No, this is what I've been trying to describe to everyone in the chat is that like half of these islands are just like 8 people, dude. It's
Yeah,
not
It's
like
like aircraft carriers.
like oh god, it's so stupid. So the solution is to let China have these islands? Yes. No, the solution is to demilitarize the islands. How about that? Is that good? Do you guys like that? Is that allowed?
We should let Albania have the islands.
Yeah.
And get a neutral
No,
third party.
Serbia, dude. Serbia.
Serbia already
To
has those
Tokyo.
islands. Serbia already has them.
I feel like if me or anyone I know had those islands, we couldn't really do anything with them. I don't know anyone who could get that much out of like an island that's just like a single runway and a gift shop.
You could go fishing.
That's true. Yeah.
No, it's just funny because like the islands are also living on borrowed time until like sea levels rise, so that like the island is like a third of what it once was. Like, oh man, all of this defensive positioning that we're gearing up for, it fucking fell apart.
Tripling the size of your military to defend Shreveport, Louisiana.
There was a lot of
Hey, it's the
excitement
high
about
school
this
from
new
Los
base,
Joseph.
but it quickly became apparent why this base is so important.
Why?
It's there to defend
Oh, it's
the
a
base.
truck. They have the truck there.
Right now, I'm watching
Can't
these
move.
trucks turn into
Wow.
missile launchers. This gives Japan the ability to shoot down aircraft.
Oh,
They have another
okay.
variation that launches missiles to hit surface ships that come anywhere near this island. And these missiles are now stationed on
Are these
several
videos for
islands along
children?
this.
It's
it
just,
does
can I?
Yeah, it's very
surface ships as opposed to
Yeah, as opposed to Japan's airship fleet.
yeah.
They're flying, or China's airship fleet. They have the giant annoying airships from Project Wingman.
I just can't help but notice how suspiciously placed these defense missile systems are.
Yeah.
You
Right,
extend that line.
so close, like so, just almost encircling this other country.
Also, China wants to invade Japan. Why are they going around through the islands? Like, surely
Yeah.
there's a much closer
Yeah,
spot.
yeah,
than,
exactly.
like,
Yeah, if you're organizing like a land invasion force of like, I don't know, like 2 million people.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Let's start over there.
Because that's where the door is.
Yeah.
Start over there. We'll go island hopping with 3 million people. Most of these islands that have a single runway. This will go great.
No, it's like it's officially Japanese soil when you get there. So it's like, oh, okay, this is ours
done
now.
it.
Yeah.
We're the whole country.
We've officially invaded Japan.
It's a surface-to-ship missile. It allows them to shoot these missiles from here and hit a ship that is somewhere in the ocean. It's once again another big capability for defending these islands, which is Japan's whole purpose.
Jumping castle
It's
days.
like, dude, is China ever defending itself, or when it militarizes, it's like it's offensive and encroaching upon America's vassal states?
The most offensive thing you can do is go to this island that 12 people live there and fill it with anti-air systems. They're like 40 miles away from fucking Chinese airspace.
What's the range? Confidential.
Confidential, but
They
enough
wouldn't
to
tell
keep
me the
an eye on,
range, but my reporting showed that these missiles have a range of around 200 kilometers, with the newer missile upgrades potentially going up to 1,200 kilometers.
Wait, what's that's interesting. What is that? What is in range at 1,200 kilometers? Just really interesting.
Well, like if
This is a
need be, they can defend themselves from somebody flying from like Chengdu to Shanghai.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad that they got that going on.
Japanese army. Why is this capability so important for Japan?
だから、日本って海洋国家なので Why is he pretending like he doesn't know? Like this is a mystery to him?
Well,
Like,
I guess
what is it? I guess it's a documentary, I know, but still. It's just annoying when it's so simple.
Like there's so many. Even if you were making this like the same type of video, like pure propagandistic purposes, you could ask so many more interesting questions than just like, why would you want to be able to shoot down an airplane?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the purpose of having anti-ship missiles? I feel like the answer may be in their name, but I don't know.
I also love him being like, well, Japan has a maritime tradition.
Exactly.
And enemy invasions always start from the sea. Like, okay, which one was the last one, dude? Like, what are we talking about here?
必ず敵の侵攻っていうのは海から始まりますので。
The Mongols will rise again. Bro, Japan already has ancient typhoon craft. Like, they literally locked that shit down. The Mongols couldn't invade because they got fucking hit with the typhoon gun twice.
Yeah, no, like, I hate to say, they used the storm talisman that you get from the Divine Dancing Lion. It worked.
Yeah.
They
don't need any of this shit. They got the typhoon weapon.
I don't want to get yelled at again. The first time I talked about this, I said this proves Shinto is real because they conjured the typhoon, and people are like, Shinto wasn't invented yet. So, like, whatever religion they were doing at the time, that's the real one. That's one we know for sure. At least one. That's totally true.
Yeah, it's a proven method. If it happened only one time, you could chalk it up to coincidence, okay? When it happens twice to the same fucking force, it's over.
Yeah.
It's like, that's deliberate, that's by design. Whatever the fuck they were doing over there, it works, okay?
It's time to begin gun training.
Bowls are a traditional Japanese method where you put food in a spherical object.
He believes in me here, and he expects nothing but my best.
What? Why is he like baby girlifying the Japanese military training like this? It's like, my friend is helping me through this process.
Any personal trainer, or if you go to a gym, that's what happens. Like, this isn't a mystic Japanese thing. Like,
no, they have ancient wisdom.
It's so all of it. I don't even think he's meaning to do this necessarily, but he just comes off as so condescending to everyone and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
The precision of his moves. I'm starting to wonder if I'll ever make him proud. Today, they're teaching me how to disarm this 250-pound American bomb.
He's talking about Chinese bombs that are unexploded ordnance, you know? Yeah. He must be, right? Because they're gearing up towards China, who has done endless wrong to the island nation. You positive was saying American bomb? Well, dude, I know I'm being sarcastic. I know that those are American bombs. That's the point.
Touch the side.
Okay, let's try that again.
they should have let him do it with a real bomb.
So,
and that would have been like actually tense.
With
also, it's just a screw. Like,
yeah, like he doesn't explain like what he's supposed to be doing. Like, is it not supposed to touch a certain part? Like, what? It looks like he did the same thing.
Wow.
He didn't explain like what he
scary
did
what you guys
differently.
do. That is.
war is not theoretical for the people here. The death toll of the Battle of Okinawa is comparable to that of the dropping of the atomic bombs. The horror of those 82 days still lives on here.
Yeah, in the fucking American military base that is now there since then. Like,
But all of this new military buildup is meant to prevent a repeat of this kind of war, to deter it. But deterring conflict by...
Slow down.
This was... My man's making Imperial Japan arguments.
Yeah.
Post-Imperial Japan. He's like, yeah, that's what they were saying back then, dude. And they're like, we have to avoid further conflict. We have to defend ourselves.
We need to build up the Japanese self-defense forces so they can commit another defensive World War II.
Yeah. The
No,
Chinese
you're right.
invasion of Okinawa was devastating. No, no, it's just so many unexploded ordinances.
has a mixed record of actually stopping a war and not provoking it. There is no clear...
Wait, I'm sorry.
Has a mixed record to deter it. But deterring conflict by militarizing has a mixed record of actually stopping a war and not...
What do you mean mixed record? Like militarizing has a mixed record on stopping further conflict? Like, what are you talking about?
But like, could he give an example of like a time when a war was about to start and someone rapidly militarized and the other party was like, okay, we were just kidding.
yeah.
Like, the entire underlying assumption here is that if a shit ton of American weapons and American military bases did not exist on top of Japan, China would have violently taken over Japan and all these tiny little fucking islands piece by piece by now, right? That's the argument. Except the only country that has done that to Japan in somewhat of a justifiable and in many unjustifiable ways is the United States of America. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Also,
it's the same principle behind whenever, sorry to cut you off, it's the same principle behind whenever people go, well, if Iran gets a nuke, well, they might use it. And it's like, dude, you're American. You're the only country that used it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Also, like, okay, just as far as like, who is actually committing the greatest acts against Japanese sovereignty, against actual Japanese citizens? Who's committing the actual most crimes in Japan?
It's the Okinawa
China
military, the
or is it the
Marines.
U.S. Marines?
Yeah. This guy went, The U.S. is there to defend Taiwan, dumbass. You have to write it 3 times, dude. Yeah.
This guy's a chair force hero.
Yeah. No, we're going to untime him out.
This guy spins the wheels of the Super Hornet. I'm defending them.
Yeah.
And that tension is now always present down here.
This has to be for children.
Yeah, it is.
And that my training is actually sticky. It's finally time for the last
doing it
test.
non-stop.
A fight where I'm going
That's
to
not how
defend
training
myself
works.
using all of the skills I've learned.
Wow.
We're putting on a jockstrap now. I don't know if I signed up for it. Not really sure what that entails.
That's how like anything works. Like
Although, how long has he been doing this? Like,
Actually, yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I feel like he's only been there for like 3 days. He's like, oh yeah, I'm really learning hand-to-hand combat.
Just like 30 minutes that he's cut up.
Yeah.
I love the incredibly broad statements he makes, like in every part. Like when he goes, war isn't just a theory for people here. And it's like, isn't that true of like most places where a war happened?
Coming at me. Who's coming at me?
This is sparring. This is just bad work. He's not doing sparring. He's fucking bad
They're
work.
yelling at him though.
Yeah,
That's
They're coming at him menacingly with the pads.
Yeah. Were you guys ever the oldest child at a sleepover with a bunch of children? And you had pillow fights? I was always the biggest, and you would just it felt like this situation where kids would run at you and you just hit them in the head and they go flying across the room. That's what I was expecting.
I had the worst thing. I was the youngest child, and like my siblings would trap me under the pillow. And I'd start screaming, I can't breathe, and then they'd use that against me like the following day. It's like, remember that time you were screaming, I can't breathe, you little pussy?
Yeah, Johnny Harris should do that.
We didn't do that. We would just invent like incredibly Byzantine games. I was like way younger than my brother and sister. I was like, 9 and they were like entering college, like in the middle of college. We would play these really like Byzantine games where we would get like a small ball and you had to get it through a cracked door in exactly the right way in the attic. I would always fall down a flight of stairs like foot first into like a pile of like picture frames. Like, just get a bunch of glass in my foot. Playing these weird Byzantine fucking ball games we made up.
That's beautiful.
It was fun except for the glass part. And it wasn't like their fault. They weren't like, go attack this glass.
Yeah, this is really applicable combat experience that he's learning, by the way.
It's making it seem like he's in a fight, and it's like, this is just bad, dude.
My training definitely has paid off, but what I didn't expect
Well, show me that kick again.
is how
Greatest leg kick in
exhausting this
history.
is. It's primal
Like 5
and full of
seconds back.
adrenaline, and
Oh,
every
yeah,
muscle in
he
my
did it
body
again.
is firing
That's
as I
how you wanna
fight
do
back,
it.
Yes.
pushing back against
Right
all
in
of
the
this
teeth.
heavy
Just a
armor I have
toe kick
on.
into someone's thigh.
They're laughing at him.
What the kick someone outside of his ankle?
Here he comes again, in my moment of need. He's always got my back.
Yeah.
He loves this man.
Okay.
And now with the gun.
Yeah.
Is he gonna shoot
Okay,
him?
here we go.
Look, if I'm a Japanese soldier, I ain't giving an American a gun, dude. Are you kidding me?
Oh, they gave him a foam gun.
Yeah.
I don't trust
Hey,
him.
they don't trust him with a real gun.
They gave me a new
His hair's coming out of his helmet. Like, he's giving it his all, bro.
Totally out of gas. I have nothing left.
Last one. I've never been more tired in my entire life. Here we go.
Let's really call for slow motion.
Yeah, pretty cool.
The editor and the camera op kind of did him dirty on this one. They're like they're memeing on him here, dude. This is like
When he's like, my training's really paying off.
this is the first time I've ever seen something like this and went soy in my mind. Like, oh,
It's nice that the Japanese guys got to laugh at this.
Yeah.
It is, it doesn't really make up for what the Marines have done in Okinawa, but at least they got this.
I feel like they could you know, take pillowcases, fill them with soap, and beat his ass when he's sleeping. Like
he'd be like, "Wow, they gave me a samurai ritual.
They really like it.
They're my friends."
He's out. He's so gassed. Oh.
It is hard fighting 4 people at once.
Yeah. Thank you.
He's acting like he just went like 5 rounds of the Prime Anderson Silva. We're all winners here.
Bro, now we know what happens when he leaves his house and isn't like, you know, fake reading a book. Now we know why that's what he does. And that's the most activity he gets in most of his videos. Oh my God.
Thank you.
A supremely unathletic man.
Oh my God.
He did what, like a combined 90 seconds of pad work?
I don't think I've been
I
so
don't
tired.
think I'm in like top fight shape anymore, but I don't think I would like nearly die from 90 seconds of bad work.
But they're coming from all directions.
That's true.
Hands aren't just in front of you.
Bro.
And the yelling.
Yeah.
He said, bro will not survive the war with China.
Primal thing running through you where it's like people are attacking you. You keep fighting. You're like yelling. That was intense.
I mean, it's a bit cute. It's like his first combat experience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
It was time to go.
It wouldn't be as cringe if he wasn't, you know, hyping up the
So
Japanese
after a group
army.
photo, I said goodbye to the locals about how they feel about all of this.
Nice.
I know
I
that
would
Japan
love
is
to be
transitioning
the guy who gets
to
done
being a
in
country
B-roll.
that once
Like, hey, get me sitting cross-legged in a parking lot.
Me reading a
again has its own military.
He loves
It's
book shots.
doubling its defense budget.
My grandfather was 18 years old at the time and was one of the first Americans to hit the beach before the horror started.
It was Japan's final hour,
He just
and in
meant, like,
incredibly
have a
furious
beach day.
combat, enemy
general,
soldiers had to be
non-amphibious
destroyed
warfare.
cave by cave and one by one.
A quarter of all civilians were killed in this battle.
This is what my grandfather was doing. Flamethrower shot. Flamethrower shot on a Japanese old lady.
Over 240,000 people dead in total, leading the U.S. to conclude that dropping 2 atom bombs on Japan was a better choice than continuing with this bloody island
Oh my God!
Why?
Oh! He's like, bro, yeah, we slaughtered 240,000 civilians on, and we then decided it's probably better to just kill another 100,000, like in 2 days, like that.
This is the only way to prevent doing the thing that we're doing.
Yeah. No other way.
He's like if Brian Fallows was evil.
It's awesome.
After the war, many of the dead on Okinawa were never recovered.
I will recover them.
This is Mr. Takamatsu. He's a local
You
Okinawan
have
who's
entered
dedicated
Okinawa's
himself to
catacombs.
searching the island, looking for...
Yeah, he did a tactical nuke after the kill streak. Dude. America had to do it. What are you gonna do? You get a tactical nuke? You're not gonna use it? You have to use
Do
it.
it straight away.
One chance.
people who died in the Battle of Okinawa.
They literally teach peaceful nuke theory in U.S. schools. I know. That's why Americans are fucking broken in the brain. Like, there's no way. Like, it's just like such an unimaginably cruel thing to do.
It is funny that it's
And the broad majority of Americans, unironically, are like, no, we had to do that shit, bro.
that's
It was
the freaky,
awesome.
The freaky thing is he's like the sensitive, smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's doing the whole act.
He's
It's
like
just
the
terrifying.
ex-Mormon liberal from Utah. He's supposed to...
We had to nuke them.
Yeah.
Served as a bomb shelter.
It didn't work. That's horrible.
There are still burn marks from the flamethrowers used in that battle almost 80 years ago.
Wait, people were hiding in a cave.
He says the
and they
cave was
flamethrower
full
through
of
the
the
little hole.
bones of women and children.
In the battle.
Do you ever play L.A. Noire?
I mean, he already...
That's the crime that fucking Phillips did.
Really?
Yeah, Phil. Like towards the end of the game, that's what you fight. His war crime was like basically doing this.
Yeah, also, I mean, is that shocking that he talks about this? He said we had to nuke them as the lesser evil option.
But it's not he like saying hiding in a bomb shelter and then like a sentence later, flamethrower was used in the battle. I'm like, what battle? These people are hiding in a cave. They have rocks to protect.
You don't understand the Japanese mind, okay? They have to fight till the last breath. So we had to burn them alive in a cave.
They were planning on raising a race of cave children that could never be defeated.
To be fair, wasn't there that one guy who was on the island who just continued fighting for like
29 years?
That's one.
So you probably should flamethrower them all.
Wait, who was he fighting? Who was he fighting?
He was in the Philippines and he was doing like he kind of knew the war was over, but he would do things like he would go up to like, you know, like a park ranger outpost and like steal some bread and be like, materials requisition from the enemy. I feel like he knew, but he just like he didn't want to go back home. It was like one of those guys who just likes being in jail.
Yeah, they were just making fun of him too much at home. So he was like, this is better.
It's like the one homeless guy Tyler Rivera interviews. It's like, this is actually freedom.
Probably like a 1970s Tyler Oliveira probably interviewed that guy.
Yeah.
He went to the Philippines.
It's not the video you think it is, man.
Yeah.
To Okinawans.
I like that even if he ends up saying like, yeah, and it was really horrifying what Americans did, the first 24 minutes was like, this is why Japan must militarize, because the Chinese might do this to them.
Yeah.
At the behest of the Americans who did do this to them. And also teach their school children that it was objectively a cool thing.
That was the weirdest thing. We got so much backlash that we didn't expect from talking about nuking Japan in one of our videos. Like everyone came unanimously like they had to do it. It's just like that's the main.
Dude, it's it's like talking to a Turkish person about Armenian genocide. Like it's completely beyond the scope of comprehension. Like, what do you mean? That's like everything I know. Everything I've been taught. Why would my school lie to me? You know what I mean?
I know it's just like, you know, nationalism at the end of the day, but like there's something weird to me about how Americans like personalize the decision, like they made it. Yeah. Like, what do you mean I had to do that? It's like, okay, this isn't technically on you.
That's fucked.
Don't let Logan know about this location. New YouTube video idea unlocked by Logan Paul.
They walk into a new cave and Impulsive is being filmed. You just hear echoing throughout the cave. Facts.
Sponsored by Prime.
No, chat, is this a W or what? I found some bones.
Back on the island of Amami Oshima, the community is split about the arrival of the military.
守るという面においてはいいと思います。いいことかなと思います。
どうなんですかね。ちょっと私なんか難しい問題にはなりますよね。それはね。何が安全って言われたらちょっと。
On one hand, this base up on the hill is there to protect the people of Japan.
Well, this is the Tyler Oliveira technique. Yeah, I asked three people, and they all were like, "Oh, it's pretty good, actually. We like it a lot. We are very fearful of China dropping a nuke on us."
All three Japanese people wanted to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
I would love to see Tyler Oliveira's take on this video. He just goes there and he's like, what do you think about China killing all of you?
Where are your homeless people?
Increasingly aggressive neighbor. Plus, the people here told me that
increasingly aggressive neighbor.
Oh my god.
I can't, dude. It's like you just showed the charred remains of of an entire cave full of Japanese women and children. And he's like, yeah, the increasingly aggressive posture of China.
Businesses.
Why did Japanese people not kill Americans when they arrive? I feel like that's what they should be doing. If you land in Japan,
bro, I feel like yo, calm down, bro. I love going to Japan.
No,
I do like.
Get it all rolled up.
We're like nearly done with this video. Has Johnny talked about like he hasn't brought up like Marines just like raping and killing little girls in Japan at all.
Excuse me. He asked 3 locals and they said, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Actually great for the economy.
やっぱ来て全然助かってる面もありますけど。
Yeah, see, good things
But
came
nearly
about
every
this.
local I talked pieced together deadly logic of military calculation.
割られるかな、消されるんじゃないかなと思います。一気に攻撃されちゃうんじゃないっていう気持ちが。
これなら絶対狙われる前提で多分みんな住んでるし。
抑止力でも
Cut him out. Cut that one out. He's saying something that's like not exactly appropriate for the video, for the vibes of this
や
video.
っぱりね、一応基地があるということは一番狙われやすいですよね。その時やっぱり島民が犠牲になるっていうのはありますよね。
Could this be considered a target for an enemy now that there's missiles here?
I wonder. How does... How does war work?
Yeah.
Do you think if there was an invasion, they would blow up the missile base?
They'll just land and be like, yeah,
Or did they
sure.
just let it ride?
So sad.
If you didn't fly your flag, would they not shoot at you? I guess these aren't for children. This is by a child.
I don't know.
Oh, it's so good.
Like, does he think that little of his viewers?
No.
These are important questions he's asking.
No. I feel like if you play Balloon's tower defense or anything, you understand what you target. Like, it's like...
Let me get this straight. When you guys aim your weapons at people, are you trying to kill them or just scare them?
That's what the yelling's for.
Oh, it's so good. This is so funny.
はほとんどないとは思うんですけども。
That's nice.
住んでるんです。
According to the military,
してない。ちゃ
they're
んと考
not
えてほしい。
featuring anyone
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, it's
Pacifist
perfectly
folk
fine.
singer.
I want the country to seriously think about this from the perspective of a foreign country. We're sure to be
必ず
targeted.
狙われますね。
再び戦場になろうとしています。
Like, that guy is pouring his heart out to Johnny.
Yeah.
And Johnny's like, oh, I wonder if a military base makes this a valid target.
That guy is old enough to be of like a generation of Japanese people who like grew up without parents.
Yeah.
Or at least like, you know, members of their family were killed. And Johnny's like, what if you got enough 35?
Have you seen the hovercraft?
LCAC, it was sick.
A UNESCO World Heritage Forest.
Oh, it's also destroying
brimming with
the...
unique and endangered plants and animals.
なんか戦争の準備をするっていうのは本当に私は
Adding yet another layer of resentment towards the military presence.
No one
特に
seemed to
自衛
resent
隊
it.
に対しての陸自に対しての
Yeah.
そのまあ
This is shocking to me. I thought most of the locals, except for that one folk singer, was like, no, it's awesome.
One fucking hippie.
No, it's great. Like, the Chinese are going to attack any day now. We have to have this military base here. See? The military guy says not even a single critical opinion of the SDF.
I walk around the street, no one tells me shit.
見るんですよ。本当に見るんだけどその度にやっぱり違う。
Yeah, no, just the one person.
The people down here live with the memory of what their geography has turned them into. The front line of defense for any invading army.
私たちこんな小さな島に住んで、
Oh my
でそこ
God.
を
っていうことですよね。
Ultimately,
いいとか悪
they
い
all
とか
agree.
っていうよりは。
You have to have it there.
The alternative, like the worst case scenario, is the Chinese doing exactly the same thing. It's just like having a base.
Yeah. This video is like for the dudes who will watch this and go, Hasan, you don't understand. Everyone in Okinawa loves the military bases. You're so fucking stupid. Why won't you let the Japanese have autonomy over having a military base there? Like, you're so dumb, Hasan. U.S.
I
Air
came
Force
to
member
these
charged with
islands
kidnapping
to
and
train
raping
with the
Japanese
military,
schoolgirls.
to immerse
There's so
myself.
many
No.
cases like that.
Dude, you don't. No, guys, chill. This is like, what if the Chinese did that?
That's a good point.
Like, you know what I mean?
True,
They're literally doing it in a defensive posture.
Yep.
It's a deterrence measure against the Chinese. Anyway, that was from last week, by the way, or last month.
No.
Yeah, it's a defensive kidnapping and rape. Yeah. It's just, you don't have the complex, you don't understand the nuances.
She was hiding in a cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
His epigenetic memory is unlocked.
But what I found when I got here was a much more complicated and emotional story than I had anticipated.
So
Not just because of
complicated.
Japan's.
Yeah, by the way, but outrage over the U.S. soldiers' crime is softened by a practical assessment of Japan's defense requirements.
You're being too emotional about this.
Yeah.
You're more logical about.
Yeah. It's like these guys are saying no thank you for U.S. bases in Okinawa. But then in the subtext, they're saying, like, but also we love the deterrence against the potential for Chinese to do this to us.
It's like there are so many instances of like this specific crime. Like there are tons of other crimes, like Marines killing people with, through DUIs, like random assaults, like tons of stuff like this. But this specific crime of like either Marines or in this case, like airmen, like literally just going out and fucking murdering and raping a child there's like, I would say like 6 or 7 different cases of it happening, in the last 40 years in Okinawa? It's fucking insane. It's insane. Like they feel like they can operate with complete impunity. Who gave them that idea?
Dude, this, like, the person who wrote this paragraph needs to be thrown in jail. I'm going to read it to you.
Starts with although.
Although another American serviceman has been charged with sexual assault in Okinawa, provoking outrage among the local population, and putting the large and controversial U.S. military presence on the island back in the headlines, fear of China appears to have combined with a phenomenon that may be termed base fatigue to mute popular anger.
What does that mean? A classic symptom of sexual assault is fatigue.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of this.
No,
happening.
they're just they're like please stop raping us, but also at the same time we love that you're doing this because what if the Chinese were raping us? Yeah.
I mean, this seems bad, sure, but have you thought about how the Chinese pilots are doing barrel rolls?
Oh yeah.
Its complicated relationship with its military, but specifically because how that history has been borne by the people who live on these islands.
Yeah.
We don't really know what.
No, I mentioned people were like, maybe they might attack our island.
No, I'm talking about, he's talking about Japan's military history, which we don't really know about.
Yeah.
No.
I don't, well, he did show a montage of them looking cool, so I think like with like marching music, so I assume they were the good guys.
He wrote patriotic music.
Yeah, they were the good guys in World War II, right? Like I have no other point of reference here. Like what were they doing to the Chinese? I suspect good things, right?
Yeah. Punching.
Yeah. This guy. Marines are not in Okinawa to protect Japan. Holy shit! It's for the protection of Taiwan. Yeah, they're gonna go to Taiwan and rape the Taiwanese children there too. They're like, just you wait, okay? You don't want mainland Chinese to come and rape you.
This guy is like a Coast Guard exchange member who loves the vending machines.
You're acting like the U.S. Marines were targeting Okinawa civilians. Soy boys laugh about war, something they know nothing about.
They were hiding in a cave. Women and children.
What would you call that if it's not targeting? Going and killing them with a flamethrower.
They were cleaning the cobwebs.
Yeah. They were testing if they were going to work. They thought no one was in the cave.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my bad," and then proceeded to do it 240,000 times, which is again just my mistake. And then they literally fucking dropped not one but 2 nukes. Okay.
I mean, famous the Japanese were using Hiroshima as a human shield.
Yeah.
Underneath Hiroshima, you know what they had down there?
Yeah, and technically the first one you could consider like you know how when Israel does the roof knocking? The first one's like kind of iffy.
Which is why they nuked a different place.
But but the second one is like, you got warned. Yeah. Like you should have just not existed as a Japanese person. Anyway, that's really cool stuff from that one chatter.
People who are now wondering if these new bases make them a target, if without them, they will be left without protection.
I mean, this is that article, by the way. Like, he's basically the same principle behind this insane article is the same shit that he's saying.
Yeah.
As reported by the Japanese press, Airman Brendan Washington, age 25, found a teenage girl in the park on the night of December 24th, 2023, convinced her to get into his car, and then drove back to his residence where he raped her. The girl was under the age of 16, which has been the age of consent in Japan since June 2023, when it was raised from 13. Nice, man. That's cool.
What What does that fucking have to do with it? Like, he raped her.
Yeah.
War and conflict make these questions unknowable. All we can do is wait.
And do propaganda for Japan.
Meanwhile, the
So
Japanese
the only
military
things we
will
can do right
continue
now.
on its course to build a proper military to protect and defend their country.
Yeah. Documents indicate chemical leaks at U.S. base have polluted Okinawa water supply. This is like a major issue in Hawaii as well. Not shocking, not surprising. Sorry, is the U.S. like specifically this aggressive, or are all countries like this? I mean, the U.S. is pretty unique.
Well, they just have more capacity.
Yeah.
They can do it in a lot more places, a lot harder.
Yeah. Which boy's the best kisser? They're both equally phenomenal at kissing. They're the best.
Amphibious warfare, and hoping
I think
that
Alex
their
is better
efforts will
kisser.
be enough to make
doesn't
China
have the
or any other
mustache.
enemy think twice about acting any more aggressively than they already have. Hoping that all of this doesn't provoke the very war it is trying to deter.
Oh my God. What a beautiful way to end this video. What a beautiful wrap up of this, dude. That's crazy. Okinawan schools start to announce cautions regarding stationed U.S. soldiers as to run away if you feel any danger this summer holiday. Valid as this is due to 4 assault cases against underage girls in Okinawa by U.S. soldiers.
Holy shit.
Four cases?
Even one assault case that happened a few days ago.
Christ.
Fuck.
They said it like it's like, and they showed the desks like it's like there's like warning when there's an earthquake. To, like,
Yeah.
under the desks, like run, drop, roll if you see a U.S. troop.
The industrial rape machine, like, it may seem bad, but what if you lost that runway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if that
true.
runway
Yeah.
was Chinese?
Yeah, imagine.
exactly.
Yeah. No, it's great, man. Well, let's see what the
Yeah,
comments
yeah.
say. If war breaks out, the first ones to die will not be the politicians who decided to go to war. That's a good comment.
Thank you, Call of
True.
Duty 2 loading screen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say not to shit on the Japanese guy. He was cool, but
Wait, what is this? I don't know whether Japan's self-defense forces are strong or weak, but I feel a great sense of security. Thank you for choosing to protect your country as your job.
what's the original?
Japan.
Yeah, it's. Thank you for coming to Japan. There are many Chinese activists on this island. I think the U.S.
Foreign agents.
Oh my
That fucking
God.
folk singer.
Dude, these are
paid by
they're-
Xi Jinping.
Yeah, these are the Trump style, the Japanese hogs. Abroad in Japan, such an incredible episode, man, on an increasingly concerning topic. Oh no, not abroad
Come
in
on,
Japan,
man.
dude. Don't do this.
I like that guy.
Oh, at times living in Japan makes you feel like a million miles away from many people in the issue, almost like a bubble. Then you remember the country is right on the doorstep of several potential massive, unthinkable conflicts. And this kind of preparation is essential, if only merely as a deterrence. Let's hope a sequel, I Fought with the Japanese Army, is an episode that need not ever materialize. Keep up the great work, mate. This was a brilliant piece of journalism.
They're not picking Johnny Harris to join the military. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Like the second it breaks out, they're like, extradite Johnny Harris from wherever
Get him
he
out
is.
of here.
He hit those pads so fucking well. We need him.
The Marines are picking Johnny Harass, you know what I mean? Huh? Huh?
I'm a piece of sense Japanese citizen, and I don't think even the Japanese people know about this. So I'm really grateful. It got me thinking. That's. I feel the level of Japanese TV is
Chat
low.
like that joke.
Thank you.
Alexa.
Oh my God. I'm a resident of Okinawa. Most Okinawans are not aware of the fact that Okinawa is an important area that is targeted even without the bases. I think this is what complicates the base issue. Opponents of the bases say, if you have a base, you will be targeted by enemy countries. But the first target of the invasion of Ukraine was a civilian airport on the outskirts of Kyiv, which was not even a base at all. Dude.
So Ukraine didn't have any bases until 2023?
And it's not even that. It's like, dude, how are you comparing Russia invading Ukraine to like a thing that hasn't happened historically? Okay. And the reverse has happened only. And the only time the other thing has happened is when the guys who are building the new base did it to you. Like, what? Dude, the level of cuckoldry under American dominance is so wild. I mean, it makes sense. Everyone's got peasant brain. That's what it is. As a Japanese raised in U.S. soil, now living in Tokyo, I understand the delicate balance surrounding this issue. I very much enjoy watching your existing videos unrelated to Japan. Everyone's a fucking liberal, dude. Everyone's a liberal. China is learning from Russia, so they will copy Russia's strats.
No one ever thought of invading a country before.
Yeah.
Which is going so well for Russia as well.
Looking at them like barely beating fucking Ukrainian Jimmy Fallon in a horrible war of attrition. We should do this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, China.
Let's do trench warfare. Like,
it's even worse. It would be amphibious assault too. Like, so it's just, you know, you're getting fucking murked. It's like D-Day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Anyway. Why do you live here in the protection of the USA then? Go live in Iraq if you're not happy.
A place the US invaded. What?
What the fuck?
Don't get bombed by your own country, son.
Yeah, I don't understand, dude. If you don't like America's protection, why don't you go die under American genocide?
This is why I don't stream. I would hate to debate with geniuses.
Yeah, they would own you like this guy did in the intellectual marketplace.
Just him trying to come up with a country that isn't America.
Also, he said fuck Russia. We said fuck Russia. I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Yeah. China was zero cause apocalypse country. Go live in Iraq to get bombed. Also, yeah, we're not even bombing Iraq any longer. Like, for now. For now. If anything, the invasion of Ukraine discouraged China. Dude, like, no. You know what discourages China? Not fucking up the bag. They don't have to do anything. They're literally doing all of the right things across the board, which is just secure trade relationships, build other countries' fucking infrastructures, offer them fucking loans that, like, they even have infinitely more favorable conditions on, and let America collapse on its own weight of its own contradictions. That's it. That's it. That's literally all they need to do. They just like kick back.
I don't even think they necessarily like want America to collapse.
Yeah, I mean that's
like,
That's a trading partner.
yeah, and also is a massive market that they're selling to. Yeah, that would be damaging. Especially if they can't develop Africa fast enough to be the new market that they can sell to. It's like then it's a problem.
Well, they actually do. With all the dog toys, if America just collapsed. It'd be like,
Yeah.
you know,
All the Mardi Gras beads.
yeah, what would happen?
They've seen how much I personally have spent on like flight simulation peripherals from China, and they're like, I'm the reason that they're not pulling the trigger. They're like, this guy's so generous. He loves so many different joysticks, and he bought the MFDs. Go Winwig.
It's fair journalism that all the TV stations in Japan thank you. I don't know what that means. Does that mean like the TV stations in Japan are like too anti-base or too pro-base?
I'm
like,
not gonna pretend to. I mean, like, I consider myself an expert in Japan, as most men my age are, but I don't yet have an opinion on which Japanese newscasts are the best. I will develop one next time I'm here.
Yeah. Hasan, international relations can always change for the better or worse. China is doing great right now, but it could change in 10 years. And if you're not ready militarily at that point, then you're at a disadvantage.
Is this Johnny Harris?
Yeah. No.
Time can change things.
Yeah. No, thank you, man. You're right. Once again, you know, it has changed. You know, America went from absolutely destroying Japan to then occupying it militarily since that in that time frame. China has not done that. TV stations in Japan are probably more anti-war. These videos attract Japanese fascists. I don't know if they are.
Yeah, I've never watched a Japanese news broadcast, but I'm gonna start.
What?
No.
A land acknowledgement. Lockheed Martin Corporation acknowledges the GMU-12 Paveway 2 Plus laser-guided bomb is produced on the traditional and ancestral...
Fuck off. Fuck off. No. Fuck off. No.
Oh, no.
What is it?
It's a joke. It's a
Okay.
joke.
Okay.
We honor their sacrifice with their innovative and high-precision advanced guidance system, which kinetically engages school posts in Dahyan, Yemen, in a rapturous victory for Western civilization, exterminated 40 godless savages. Okay, dude. I thought it was real for a second.
It's sad that it's
But it's not out of the range.
It's not that
believable,
crazy.
yeah.
2020 was like, do you remember when Gushers was like we recognize the contributions that Black Americans have made towards gushers.
Yeah.
What is gushers?
Gushers are like
candy.
a fruit chew that have a juicy center.
It's great.
Like
I love it.
Starburst?
They're like the shell is like a Starburst kind of, but more gummy.
Oh, it's only Australia. We love the land acknowledgements.
Oh,
when
shit.
you
Yeah.
came,
Yeah, I was shocked,
It's
bro. You know,
normal
in
for us.
Australia, when they fucking land the plane, they do a land acknowledgement.
They do?
Yeah.
Wow.
They do. It's crazy.
We're so much
Is
more
it
woke.
better or worse than clapping for the pilot?
I like clapping because it makes me feel like you're acknowledging that flying is pretty impressive.
No,
and you're like, oh, good work, dude. Like,
the more
thank you.
DCS I played, the more I've like clapped for the pilot.
Yeah. In
Like,
Russia,
I know how hard it
it's
is.
so scary because everyone claps like they're so happy to be alive. Like people stand up and they're like, yes, and you're
Well,
like, fuck.
With like our Russian airline pilots, are they like guys who flew like Su-24s in Afghanistan and have like insane PTSD?
Probably.
Oh man, you got to buy the Autism Gushers. Yeah, we got through some heavy stuff today. We learned a lot, and I'm glad that we're defending Taiwan. Imperial Japan kills civilians, build the infrastructure, and then enslave them with loans. Please hop off communist dick.
No,
I hate communist Japan.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No,
that-
he's talking about
during
the
that
Chinese Belt and Road Initiative.
During that segment, we were incredibly pro-imperial Japan.
Yeah.
Yes, you noticed.
Yeah, no, which is why, no, also, Imperial Japan is the reason why the Okinawa Marines have to rape Japanese children. Is not the argument you want to make, I don't think. Like,
I wouldn't be arguing that it's like a necessary
Yeah.
thing.
you don't understand. Imperial Japan killed civilians. Anyway, that's good. We learned a lot today. Thank you, Johnny Harris. You taught us so much. And thank you to our guests, our wonderful guests.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
New
Peace.
Elman fit.
Oh, God.
See?